What's up, nerds? Welcome to Nintendo Pow Block, Nerds Gone Rogue's Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Corey Dirrig, and alongside me, as always, that retro code, Edward Varnell.
Simon's Quest is the best butt rock game of all time with a soundtrack.
Joining us is what do you call him, Edward? What do you call him on Arsenal X? I forget.
The
wise Wisconsin. The wise Wisconsinite, Jesse Douglas.
We need a Waluigi skateboarding game.
Oh my gosh. I quit.
Hi guys.
Look, you're supposed to do your Nintendo guns.
Oh my gosh. I don't even know what to say right now.
Yes.
Man, what happened to this show? How's everybody? Everybody doing good? Everybody doing?
You're doing good. Yeah.
Doing pretty good.
Yes.
We have done a lot of podcasting.
Yeah. Look, we've done so much podcasting the last couple days. I'm like, I want more information about stuff that is rumored, but at the same time, I'm really tired. So. But anyways, yeah, there's been a lot going on this week. We sort of are experimenting with a new mini block show on YouTube. We're experimenting with a few other things. We've done a lot of reacts. We've done...
Yes.
I don't know. Jesse's been awake forever, I think. So there's just... Yeah, there's a lot happening. So we're just gonna dive into it. What are you guys playing? What are you guys diving into this week? Jesse, we're gonna start with you because I want to start with Ed.
I've been actually playing my Switch more lately. I've been playing Resident Evil Chronicles. Or Revelations, I mean.
Nice.
It's like, ooh, I'm like,
yeah,
I'm like, where did that come out?
right. I'm like, I need to buy that.
Yeah, I've been playing that Revelations because it's it's set up perfectly for someone like me who doesn't have all the time in the world to just sit down and play it for a couple of hours. So you've kind of just got little sections, little chapters of stories. So and then at the end of each section, it kind of ranks you and says how well you did, and so I can just play through a section, and then just once it goes to that screen, it asks you to save. I can save and then put it down, and then the next day pick it up, play a couple more, and just kind of slowly make my way through the game anytime I got a chance to play it. So I've been playing that. I played the Dragon Quest Builder demo with my son the other day. So I kind of was just having him play that and then just testing it out and stuff. That's pretty... Well, I did play an episode of Fortnite, or a game of Fortnite Battle Royale before we started recording today, so...
Nice.
That's pretty much it for right now.
Nice. Ed, what are you playing?
So I literally just been playing just 2 games. Actually, this week I haven't returned back to my Xbox or my PS4 for a bit because I've been hooked on Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I finally got past this difficult boss fight. And I was grinding, putting time into my characters, fighting, getting new blades, finishing side quests, and every time I got to this certain boss, because you had to fight 2 leaders from this group, I was able to fight them long enough for a cutscene to cut in. That was almost 15 minutes long, and I was just like, I can't with this. and then I got to the next chapter and cut it off because I had to go to bed, and because I would have stayed up for another 2 hours. And like Corey put it, I would have did an ed and missed part of the podcast. Second, last game I did play though, after playing Xenoblade Chronicles 2, is of course Monster Hunter Story. Really enjoying this game, progressing, getting more monsters. Very fun, still learning some stuff. So enjoying that on the 2DS. I will get back to Yokai Watch, and I will get back to Dragon Quest 8 because I really want to finish a lot of my past 3DS games that I got to a point and then stop. I want to work on those and get those finished. Last but not least, by the time you guys see this video, I'll be picking up Blossom Tale, and there was another game that I was supposed to be pick up. I think it's on PS4. I gotta check. But I'll be picking that up Friday. I mean on today, where you guys are watching this. And hopefully play some more Super Meat Boy, Golf Story, Graceful Explosion Machine, like some of my past indie games. And then getting ready for Tuesday for Lost Sphere. Getting ready to play that on Switch.
Oh yeah, that does come out next week, doesn't it? Oh my gosh. I can't.
Yes.
There's too much.
Why,
I can't.
Why Corey has his stuff pre-ordered, and I'm so jealous of you because I love you so much for all the games that you pre-ordered.
Stop. Don't tell my wife.
I know, but I gotta do. I gotta get my list ready for games that's coming out because I think there's most of the releases is in May, so I do have time for that. But I know March and stuff. I gotta kind of save and plan out my games because I'm going to Comic-Con in Indianapolis with my friends, so I'll be gone for that weekend. So
nice.
Yeah, I'm thinking of doing my first cosplay, and Ryu Hayabusa from Ninja Gaiden. And I gotta find this. There's that one. It's a mask. I guess it covers your whole mouth that you can use like in the wintertime and stuff. I gotta get one of those, but I literally want my Hayabusa to be bloody, and I'm going to have my Brohawk on. And I kind of want to dye it. I want to dye it red at the top, or something, or blonde, or do something like kind of down. But I kind of literally want my clothes to have like blood stains and stuff on it to look like a bloody ninja. So I have to do some ideas. So guys, email nintendopowblock@gmail.com and let me know what you guys think about it. Should I do Ryu Hayabusa or what?
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. For me, I played a little bit. I've been playing a little bit of Bloodborne with Matt and Moose, but that game, I don't know, man. Every time I don't know. I'm always scared to play those games by myself, and then when you get in there and actually try to, play it, it's not that bad. I think it's very. I don't know. Like I told you, Ed, it gives me the same feeling of like old NES games, like Ninja Gaiden and stuff like that, to where like you have to memorize the patterns and you have to memorize where enemies are going, and you attack at the right time or you dodge at the right time, and it's very old school in that way. And like I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're just figuring that out now. This game's been out for like 7 or 8 years at this point. I'm like, yeah, I know, shut up. But like that's the feeling it gives me when we go in and fight a boss where like, we fought a boss the other day with like 5 or 6 swords, and they have big sweeping motions on the ground, and like you dodge, and then it stands up straight, and you roll in, and then you attack like 3 or 4 times, and then you dodge out of the way. It's very the combat is very simple yet complicated, and I think that's what I like about it, and it's almost very Zelda in that way, where like you can make the combat as simple as you want it to be or as complicated as you want it to be. And like you don't have to be good to know like what you're doing, but you have to be able to react. And that's what I like about it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if I'm gonna move on to Dark Souls after this or not, but like, you know, Dark Souls is coming to Switch and I'm excited for that. So we'll see what happens with that. But the two games I've been really obsessed with lately are Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. I didn't start over, but I'm like acclimating myself with the systems and stuff, and it's like, oh my gosh, that game is really good. I like that game so much. And then Super Meat Boy, which came out last week on Switch. And Super Meat Boy is one of the best platformers I think I've ever played in my life. I've become obsessed with A+ing every level and A+ing every like thing and finding all the bandages and stuff. And then like about halfway through, I found out if you press Y on the Switch, there's for every world there's a quote dark world, and that's like the harder version of the same level. And it's like, and you have to like, and there's band-aids and stuff, and then there's secret exits where you get warped back. Like there's this purple warp thing, and you go back to like the original Meat Boy game, and it takes you through levels of that. And it's like, man, this game has it looks very simple on the outside, but like to do everything, it's giving me the same feelings that N Plus did on Xbox 360 and N Plus Plus does. Like, I got to get all the coins, I got to find all the band-aids, I got to do this perfect, you know? Like, so good. It's really good. Super Meat Boy is really good. If you haven't played it, it's $14.99.
Yes,
man, it's really good. And I think that and The End Is Nigh, which is the other platform that team just put out on Switch, both are very, very good. So yeah, those games are awesome. My throat is starting to hurt because we podcast so much this week. Oh my gosh. But yeah, is that all everybody's been playing? You want to get into some of these news bits?
Let's get into some news.
Oh man, Ed, I think that's the fastest we ever made it through what we've been playing.
Exactly.
It's only been like 12 minutes.
Yes.
But man, dude, I cannot wait for the Mario plus Rabbids expansion pack with Donkey Kong. I'm so excited.
I literally have to work on this game.
Yeah,
I have to work on this game.
Yeah, that's still my second favorite game I've played on Switch so far. You know, under Zelda. I love that game. And yeah, I was trying to go back and play some of the just the challenges or whatever, because every level, you know, like the battlefield where you finish part of the storyline, there's a mushroom, like a toad or a mushroom whatever guy there, and then every time you can play those challenges over, and then you can win coins or things to upgrade stuff. So I think if you played through all of the levels again and beat all those challenges, you could probably level like every character all the way up or something like that. I don't know.
I do wonder if Ubisoft is going to do some restocks once the DLC gets close by.
I bet like as soon as all the DLC comes out, they're going to make like a gold edition or like a deluxe edition that has all the expansion stuff built into it already, or like
oh no, I was just I agree with you, because like we haven't got copies at all, and it was just like this was a hot game that everybody wanted on Christmas. Ubisoft, you gonna see some more? So maybe you're right, Corey. They might actually do a full collection. I'm
gonna be surprised if they don't. Like in Nintendo in general starts doing that with like Xenoblade Chronicles in a year, or you know, maybe this summer to rekindle people's excitement for like to sell more copies of Zelda if they do something like that where they include the DLC for free. And like if you buy a couple games if you bought them digital like during sales and stuff, they gave you the expansion pass for free. So like I know Mario plus Rabbids was on sale for a while, and it was like 30% off, 25% off, I think, and they gave you the expansion pack for free. So if you bought it digitally, so that like you could see deals going that way as well. So yeah, this is I'm excited for that DK stuff. So
I kind of want to see how digital sales work, like profit wise. Like, do do Ubisoft and other companies make more money because they don't have to deal with retail, so they get more of a cut, and Nintendo make their licensing cut, or they get whatever the cut they're supposed to get. I wonder how that goes.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. So, all right, let's get into some of this news. We can elaborate a little bit on this, but I'm not going to go too deep into this story because we've been talking about it. We have a few videos on this subject already, whether it's an upcoming expansion pack or which you can find on YouTube, on Nerds Gone Rogue's YouTube page on Mondays at noon. Nintendo announces Nintendo Labo, a range of interactive DIY toys for Nintendo Switch. It is, if you have been paying any attention to the internet lately, you see people kind of mocking it on Twitter or whatever. It's these little cardboard cutouts that you attach your Joy-Cons to or your Switch screen to, and like they provide different activities for kids and families to do together. So I'm just going to do the rundown of the two sets they announced in the trailer on Wednesday. The Toy-Con, they're called Toy-Cons. They come in these boxes. They come with a software. They come with a game, like a real like case and a cartridge and everything, like like a real case. So for $69.99, you get the Variety Toy-Con pack, which includes a Toy-Con RC car, where you insert the left and right Joy-Cons into your cars and you can control it via the screen, the touch screen. A Toy-Con fishing rod, where you construct a fishing rod with an interactive reel, and it's like a fishing mini game. And then a Toy-Con house, which inserting the Joy-Cons and the screen into various openings of the house allow you to interact and play games with creatures inside the house, which was one of the cooler ones I think I saw after I watched the trailer like 40 more times last night. I was trying to figure out like what all these things were and like the possibilities and stuff. And then the last one in the variety pack is the Toy-Con piano, which was the one they led off with, which I thought was really cool. You build a kind of like a 13-key piano, and you stick the Joy-Cons on each side, and then the screen in the middle, and it allows you to... I think it teaches you how to play the piano a little bit, so I think that's really cool. And then the second kit they announced, which is $79.99, was the robot kit. It only has one model, but you build kind of like this wearable suit that you literally attach to your feet, your back, and you build a backpack with all the gears and stuff in it. Face helmet, which you can either use as a VR, a simplified VR type thing where you put the screen in the shield, or you put the stuff on your TV. And then you put one of the Joy-Cons in the backpack, and the other one you use in your hand, where you're like punching and throwing and walking as this giant robot. And it kind of reminds me of the Project Giant Robot they kind of announced for Switch and kind of faded away. But I think that this became that. So yeah, Nintendo is going big with a creative angle here. The promotion video shows Toy-Con customized with paint, tape, markers, and later afterwards they announced that they were going to release sticker sheets that you could buy and customize your stuff with. So again, this is software designed for helping or having families and kids build stuff and interacting with games in a different way. And like I said on one of the previous videos, Ed, like 1-2 Switch was kind of like if you were to compare this to like a TV show, this was like 1-2 Switch was almost like the episode 0 of this, where like
the pilot,
where you're like interacting with people and not really looking at the TV. You're listening for sounds and like design, and now you're going to be able to design stuff for the Joy-Cons and the Switch in general here. So
yes.
What do you guys think in kind of a general sense? We've done a reaction video, we've done a preliminary thoughts on this style stuff in a mini block and expansion packs, but overall, what do you guys think of the Labo stuff?
Last thing I was just gonna say, I think this is creative. I can't wait for it to come at my job so I could buy it for my family and play it. That's all.
Yeah. What do you think, Jesse?
For me, I'm glad that they're kind of thinking of unique ways to to make more options for kids and stuff like that, because other than just regular straight up games, there isn't really a whole lot of options right now anymore for younger kids, or things, just things like this in general, just being able to kind of have a hands-on gameplay. So it's going to be interesting, and it's only the start, so I'm kind of like to see where it goes. So
yeah.
So
our next couple stories they came out a little bit after the Nintendo Labo stuff was announced, and they're all software that teaches kids things. So like the next story is UK-based Fuse Technologies is creating a way for people to code their own games in C++ and Python languages. So here's the synopsis here. Fuse 4 Nintendo Switch is an intuitive and incredibly easy to pick up application for Nintendo Switch. More than powerful enough to create professional looking games that play beautifully. Game assets are all the graphics and sounds required to create great looking games. To help new users, even seasoned pros, to get started, we're including tens of thousands of games, graphics, audio samples, and 3D models across, but not limited to, 2D platform, racing, RTS and RPG, puzzles, shoot 'em ups, and beat 'em up genres. And just in case you run out, you can create your own and even purchase additional game packs directly from the Nintendo eShop. The bundle assets are currently valued at over $150 and will only rise as more artists submit their work. Fuse for Nintendo Switch will retail for less than £30, which is roughly $39.99 here. This represents incredible value for money. Fuse for Nintendo Switch will be available in Q2 2018 with additional game content made via DLC add-on packs. So another piece of cool technology for teaching kids how to do things. So if you have a kid that's interested in making games, or like, their school doesn't have a strong computer science program, or like, when they get to high school, they can choose their own classes. Maybe this will give them the head start that they need to do for computer science stuff.
This is a good look for indie games for the future, for just like you said, Corey, get kids into designing games. And I think adults who really want to design games too can easy up and learn. They don't have to go through like Microsoft's kind of shenanigans on trying to get a game working on their system and whatever Sony does. But if this is pretty cool and kids like it, and hopefully past high school, if this wants them to get into DigiPen or go take them to art school and make them want to create video games in real life, then why not start with the Switch?
I'm interested in this. This is awesome. I want, because like that's something I've always wanted to do, but I've never been like, where do you start with this stuff? And like, I've downloaded Unity on my PC. I've downloaded on like the free versions of Unity and Unreal. I'm like, where do you start? Then I find out you need to do asset creation stuff, and I'm like, well, before you even start coding for those programs, I'm like, where do you even start? And this is like a cool way to start.
There's like some kind of competition or something, like games done quick, not like speed running, but it was just like you create your own game like in a certain amount of time. I kind of want to see what people could do on Switch if they could have a competition like that. I would love to see what they create.
So this is basically like their version of Spark, right?
Pretty much. Or like, I guess it seems a little bit more complicated than something that Sony's doing, like Dreams too. Because
I know in Spark you could basically make any style of game that you wanted. Like it was a matter of like figuring it all out. So that would be interesting. I think if any of the systems would benefit from a thing like this, it would be Nintendo. So
definitely, especially if indies are going to start taking off. This is basically giving people a dev kit on board the system, you know. So and you know, more professional people are going to use things like Unity and Unreal and stuff, but at the same time, if you want to do this in like 3 or 4 years, this is a great way to get started.
Yeah.
Along the same lines, Japanese electronics giant Korg is also debuting a program on Switch that will allow you to make music with your Joy-Cons.
Yes. I'm sorry, Corey. This just made me happy when I seen this.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know the way everybody except me talks about music around here. So, let's see here. While the internet goes crazy in reaction to Nintendo Labo and its cardboard constructions, another curveball has been thrown in Nintendo Switch's general direction. Korg, the Japanese electronics giant that specializes in keyboards, guitar pedals, and studio recording equipment, will be bringing its Korg Gadget music production software to the Nintendo Switch. Coming spring 2018, the versatile experience is like having a proper music studio in your pocket, but don't let that intimidate you. It turns the empowering art of creating music into a game-like experience where you can actually twist and turn your Joy-Cons to make and manipulate sounds. There's even a multiplayer mode. And then, quote, using the Nintendo Switch's dock HDMI cable, Korg Gadget can be played on your TV, and you can create a song on the big screen or enjoy collaborating with up to 4 people. Also, by outputting it to the screen, you can even use the Joy-Con for a live performance.
And Korg has done a lot on the DS handheld systems.
Yeah, did they do this on like the original DS, not the 3DS, but the DS?
Yeah, and people were taking this to like DJs were taking this to parties and stuff and doing DJ sets off the DS. So to see this mug come to Switch, like I love writing music, but I'm not a producer. I can't like really create, chords and stuff like that. I'm so glad this is finally coming to a home console. And that is going to be on Switch, because now I can sit and spend time creating some fantastic beats, and just getting an earful and you just being expressive in that manner. And Korg is really, really good at this. They're the only ones that have been putting this out, and it's been selling well. So I'm glad that they're putting it on Switch. I'm so happy that they are doing this. I hope Matt picks it up too. Matt the Kill, shout outs to him. I hope he put this out too, because I want to create with him. I want to get his ear. I'd be like, dude, I'm gonna send you this file. I'm like, give me thoughts. I want you to hear this and stuff. I think it's going to be really cool for that to happen. Like, Guitar Hero and all that other stuff is fine for people who just want to play music, but creating and having that space, just having your headphones on, listening, getting ideas, that's going to be so cool.
Yeah.
And to do it on the go.
Yeah. Jesse can make some new sweet beats now.
Yeah,
I'll do a SoundCloud account.
Yeah, I just need Fruity Loops for Nintendo Switch.
Oh no, I would be scared for that. Because I'm definitely gonna be in the car and I'm gonna hear a song and I'm gonna be like, I wish I could make this beat and just take this part and sample it. And the Korg can let me do that. Yes. But I'm super stoked for this.
Yeah, me too. It definitely sounds like it's gonna be something that'll be right up my alley. So
yeah,
nice.
I can't send it to Corey because I'll be like, check this beat out. He like, okay, yeah.
I'll be like, cool. Okay. The last bit of like the tech news for Nintendo. Gosh, it's weird talking about tech in terms of Nintendo. But Sony's game engine, Fire Engine, is now supporting the Nintendo Switch, which is the engine used in games like Journey, Flower, Flow, Unfinished Swan, like those games. So Sony's Fire Engine, which has been a free-to-use game engine for more than a decade, now officially supports Nintendo Switch. Developers can use Sony's software to make games for Nintendo's console. And one of the games, Dragon Quest Builders, runs on that very engine, as well as games like Journey, blah, blah, So yeah, people who like that engine can now use it to make Switch games, which, it creates pretty cool looking games. I'm not gonna lie, Journey's a
Is that
very beautiful game.
is that engine owned by Sony?
Yeah, it's Sony's
Okay.
engine, but it's not PlayStation. It's not owned by PlayStation. It's just owned by Sony. So
Well, I mean, PlayStation is the item, but Sony itself, like Sony Studios and Sony as just a company as a whole, is it their engine that
Yeah.
that like Naughty Dog and stuff could use or
oh,
anything.
Naughty Dog uses proprietary stuff. This is more for like indie developers, simple to use indie developers. Yeah,
I mean, like if Naughty Dog wants to use that engine because they are part of Sony.
Oh yeah,
They
it's
use that
a
engine.
free to everybody. It's free to use for everybody. So, yeah.
That's cool.
So new engine, always good to see more stuff. Support Switch. So, all right, let's get into some game stuff. I'm tired of talking about all this stuff that's not games. We also did a mini block on this earlier this week. Ubisoft and Steep release could be imminent as copies go on sale via foreign retailers. So we've known Steep has been coming and planned for Nintendo Switch, but retail listings have been going up, and even some Amazon outside of the U.S. Amazon sites have started to put Steep up for pre-order. And we also talked about the Ubisoft people tweeting out, developers tweeting out. There's news coming for Nintendo products from us, and a lot of people are speculating that South Park is also coming. We talked a lot about that. So Steep and South Park probably on the way. Thoughts? Go. Excited. I'm excited for both games, but
You could see my thoughts on it on the mini direct. So yay, more games.
but what if people don't want to watch the mini?
Then they should because it's on NGR Radio. It's exclusive. They should check it out.
Jesse, what are your thoughts?
Well, I hope that they bring the South Park game. I never really got a chance to play like all the way through the first one, but I did like what I played, and I kind of wouldn't even mind seeing that get brought over as well. Like maybe do what they did like with this game. Like, wasn't it if you pre-ordered it, you got a digital copy of the original one or something like that?
Yeah, that was available. That even if you didn't pre-order it, it came with a code for the original game. So, yeah, I would like to see them do something like that too, but we'll see. Like I said, I'm excited for both games. I think Steep is an interesting concept that just didn't really take off. But
yeah.
I think it'll sell better on Switch just for the simple fact that people want stuff for the system. And so,
like I said, I'll wait for South Park to be announced.
I already added it to my list, Ed. I'm not waiting. It's coming.
And hopefully they just add some exclusives to it. So that's like I talked about it on the mini direct for a good while. So that's why I said you guys should check my thoughts on there.
Oh, excuse me. Wow, that was good radio right there.
Yes.
So our next story, Nintendo reveals its top 30 best-selling digital games on Switch for 2017. We are going to use they used Japan's top 30 and then overseas top 30. So we're going to go the overseas because we aren't from Japan. So starting at number 1 and moving all the way to number 30. Number 1 is Stardew Valley. That's a surprise to me. Number 2 is Minecraft. Number 3, Sonic Mania. Number 4, Rocket League. Number 5, Snipper Clips. Number 6, Overcooked. Number 7, Shovel Knight. Should be number 1. Jerks. Number 8, Fast RMX. Number 9, Kamiko. Glad to see that made the list. Number 10, SteamWorld Dig 2. Number 11, Arcade Archives Neo Geo vs. Super Mario Brothers. Number 12, Wonder Boy the Dragon's Trap. 13, Blaster Master Zero. 14, Metal Slug 3. 15, Enter the Gungeon. 16, Ocean Horn. 17, Mighty Gunvolt Burst. Number 18, Arcade Archives Mario Brothers. Number 19, Arcade Archives Neo Geo Metal Slug. Number 20, P-Cross S. Number 21, Thumper. Number 22, Graceful Explosion Machine. Number 23, The King of Fighters 98. Number 24, Mr. Shifty. 25, World of Goo. 26, Brawl Out. 27, Human Fall Flat. 28, Uno. 29, Goner. And number 30, Implosion.
Golf Story's not on there? That's
Nope.
shocking.
So, this list, very not full of AAA titles, let me tell you. That is a Nindy download only list right there.
Well, it makes sense because they're reasonable prices.
Yeah.
And they're smaller games. So why? And you only could get them on digital. Besides maybe snipper clips. It's like the only one that's physical on that whole list.
Yeah. Well, I think some of the other ones are physical, but I mean, like, they originally came out digitally only. So
right, and Kamika is only $5.
Yeah.
So, and it's a short game that everybody loves.
Yeah. So like I'm kind of surprised that there aren't any AAA games on here because I know a few people that I know are going all digital on this thing and like bought the 200 and whatever gig SD card and stuff, but pretty solid list. I am surprised that Sonic Mania is that high. I'm surprised that Stardew Valley is number 1. Like
a lot of people have been wanting Stardew Valley to come to Switch.
Yeah, I know.
So,
but I'm surprised Minecraft is not number 1. Was my thing. But that's also because it's like $15 on Xbox and it's $40 on Switch. So
yeah, a lot of people prefer. I'm sorry, Jesse. A lot of people prefer Stardew Valley over Minecraft.
And wasn't Sonic Mania on sale for a little bit?
Was it?
Or no?
I'm not sure.
I don't know.
No, not yet.
It wasn't? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure.
They just had.
Did they just have it at the top of like we're just promoting it or something recently?
I think so. Yeah, I think the Switch version had that collection because I don't think Sony and Microsoft had the collection. And most Sonic games do well on Nintendo consoles. There's Sony and Microsoft.
Yeah. So and I also bought the collector's edition with the giant Sonic statue. So it came with a download card in it, which kind of I was like, I just want a physical copy because, well, anyways. But that's a pretty solid list. I like a lot of those games on that list. Surprised Snake Pass isn't on there. Because like I know a lot of people were talking about that game when it came out, and I'm just kind of surprised it's not on there. So
yeah, and not to discourage all the other games that didn't make the list, because a lot of them that didn't make the list really sold well and got a lot of talks. Golf Story's not on there, but it got nominated for some Game of the Year awards. So I mean, that's not bad for it.
Yeah. So, all right, we're gonna talk about the games that came out this week on eShop. All systems. So Switch eShop, Darkest Dungeon came out this week. ACA Neo Geo Power Spikes 2. Wow, my Siri is going off. Thanks phone. I think it said I think my phone just thought I said "Hey Siri" instead of ACA. So
wow.
Thanks phone. Ambition of the Slimes, which is $5. That's cool. The arcade version of Double Dragon is coming to Switch this week. It's probably out as of this recording. The Hollywood Roast. Oh Sir, the Insult Simulator. Cubic, World to the West, which is that game that we were talking about, Ed. It seems really, really cool. It kind of had like this weird Zelda style to it. Lost Sphere comes out in a couple days. I don't know what's on this list for this week, but
Because it comes out on Tuesday.
yeah,
So.
I know. Baseball Riot, Nuclean, Vesta, Chromagun, and then finally Shoe comes out. So those are the games available this week or coming out on Tuesday. The 3DS eShop, there's a couple games for 3DS eShop. Link-A-Pix Color, Raining Coins, and Kirby Battle Royale are the 3 games available on the 3DS eShop this week. Nothing on the Wii U. And then the DLC for the first part of the expansion pass for Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is out this week. So there's a couple new missions and stuff that can be found throughout the game, starting in certain chapters. New driver essential sets. Tor's favorite thing, which is there's a bunch of stuff, Ed, you would probably know because you're farther in this game than I am. So that's it. There's a couple demos also out this week. Implosion is getting a demo, and League of Evil is getting a demo on Switch. So that's what's out this week on your Nintendo platform of choice. Sorry, Wii U, you have nothing. So why don't we head into the question block? Everybody good? Nobody got to pee or anything? Everybody good?
Actually, no.
No way.
I'm good.
I'm good.
Oh, okay. You're good. Okay. So we're going to head into the question block. Remember, you can email us your questions at nintendopowblock@gmail.com if you want your question read on the question block. Or if it's really good, we'll enter you into our expansion pack slot. And if it's the best question, Ed.
Yes. So everybody, you have to January 27th to get your question in. We are holding a contest for you guys. And you go to NGR Radio Facebook page to see the Mario iHome headset. Really, really cool headset. And it also come in a built-in microphone. So while you guys are listening to Nintendo Pow Block or any podcast that you prefer on your phone, tablet, whatever, or even let's say you're gaming on your Switch or your PS4, Xbox, and you want to chat with your friends, you'd be able to use that headset to do that. But it's a nice, cool, sleek Nintendo design with the regular Super Mario Brothers video game. You guys have to January 27th to send in that question. The details are up, like I said, on our Facebook page. And one of you guys will not only win that, but your question will be the topic for our expansion pass. So get them in, and hopefully you have that chance to win. Yes.
Yes. So enter your questions in. We want your questions, and we want to read your questions. So, yeah. So our first question comes from Greg Osterman. I hope I said your name right. I'm sorry. Found your show looking for Nintendo podcasts when I got my Switch for Christmas, and I love it. I even went back and listened to older episodes. My question is, do you think Switch will outlast the average 4 to 5 years past home consoles life cycle, and how do you think it will? So, thanks for your question. So, like he said, the average Nintendo home console life cycle is about 5 years. The GameCube lasting 4 years, and then the Wii lasting 6 before its successor came out. Handhelds usually have a little bit longer lifespan. Game Boy having a 11-year life cycle, and then DS and 3DS are kind of hit that 7 or 8 year range. So,
Yes.
I think but for the simple fact that it's a handheld, like a lot of people are using it as a handheld device, it'll last longer. I think we will get iterations, like a little bit more powerful console, like partway through, similar to what the new 3DS did, but nothing that's really going to change what the Switch is. But I think its popularity in general is going to make it last longer.
Yes. these new engines that's coming to the system is going to allow games that were using that engine now to be able to be ported to Switch. So we'll definitely see more games, more indies, more ideas come. The Nintendo Labo, for example, is a good idea with what Nintendo's going to do, and they'll probably have more plans for that. We'll still have Amiibo, but it's going to be mostly the games that's going to give it more of a longer life. And even Kimishima said that they plan for a Switch to have a longer lifespan than a normal console lifespan or success or whatever.
Yeah. What do you think, Jesse?
Yeah, I agree. It's, the fact that you can kind of bring it anywhere or play it, on your TV. No one else is really offering that right now, other than like your PC, or if you want to count that. But so yeah, I think, kind of like you said, Corey, too, that I think they might eventually have some tweaks and like minor upgrades that you can eventually get, if you want to. But I think it's gonna just basically, like, as long as people are making games for it, it's gonna stay alive, and like they've really captured something that no one else really has, and they might as well stick with it for a while because it's doing really well for them. So
yeah,
they don't really have a reason to move on, I don't think.
Yeah. I also think, like, it's, I think the popularity is one thing, but like Jesse said, as long as Nintendo keeps creating amazing games for this thing, like, I could really see them pushing iterations of this instead of a whole new console in general. I could really see them doing the new 3DS thing, maybe not 2 or 3 years from now, but like 5 or 6 years from now, and saying, hey, we're coming out with a more powerful version of the Switch, to allow people to create bigger and better games for third parties and allow us to, keep people within the ecosystem. But you don't need to upgrade. You don't need to whatever. The system transfer stuff is really easy to do. Like, I was thinking about it, like, if they make a new Switch, similar to the new 3DS, like, I would probably get another Switch and let my wife use the one I use currently, because all she wants is Mario Kart and Tetris, and like, you don't need a more powerful console for that. But if we're going to get Elder Scrolls 6 or, Red Dead 2 or some of these bigger games that people are looking forward to on this thing, like, you're going to need that processing power that, that they could use to upgrade it. And I would just transfer all my system data over to that one and then let my wife use the current one. So, there's a lot of ways this thing could extend its lifespan. I think products like Pokemon, for example, will make this thing last long in general, So we'll see. I don't want to get ahead of myself because it hasn't even been a year yet, but I could see this thing lasting 7, 8, 9 years, 10 years maybe. So maybe we'll still be sitting here doing this podcast 10 years from now and talking about, hey, remember when we started this podcast and the Switch wasn't even out yet? So.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Oh my goodness. I will be 47 if that happens.
I'll be 41. Oh. Jesse's like, I'll be 30.
No, I'll be 40 something. I don't even
I
don't even pay attention to my birthday anymore.
Yeah, dude, my birthday, when my birthday came around, I forgot it was my birthday. So
not me, because I take the weekend off for my birthday.
Yeah, I forget. I took off my birthday because it was the day after Thanksgiving, and I hate working the day after Thanksgiving, and I always take Black Friday off. So I'm like, so I was like, I forgot we did do that. So our next question comes from Megan Green. She asks, what Nintendo franchise do you want to see make a comeback this generation? For me, I want to see Kid Icarus in some sort of Breath of the Wild style action RPG. What Nintendo franchise do I want to see come back?
Um, Elite Beat Agents.
Yeah,
Elite Beat. Can I say for me, Elite Beat Agents and Hotel Dust Room 212 or 210, whatever that one is. I want to see those come back. I
Yeah.
need my music. With the Heaven is fine, but I need to pop my bubbles and roll around. I need to do all of that to some nice cover songs, and I would love on my 3DS to turn my system sideways and do another novel game like that.
yeah. Man, you know what I really want to see? I want to see I really want to see them embrace some NES stuff and really go like Excite Bike. What if we got a new Excite Bike? What if like their new sports line came out? You know, it would be like 1080, which, you know, there have been rumors that we haven't talked about at all because those were the rumors going around before last week's direct. So the 1080
right.
trademark stuff. So like, what if they did like 1080 Excite Bike, Wave Race, you know, that kind of stuff, and then come back with some Mario sports games and Strikers and Sluggers and golf. Like, I want to see all that stuff kind of come back, but
I could just see Nintendo doing unit racers again.
oh, please no. Excite Bike. No. Uniracers. Yeah. What if they did Uniracers versus Excite Bike?
I will buy that in an instant. I would have to, because my friend Chad Caselmo from former Destructoid, I'm friends with him on Twitter and stuff. If a Uniracer versus Excite Bike came out, I would have to be like, someone check on Chad, because I think he has passed out.
Yeah, for me, I wouldn't mind seeing like Paperboy or like even a Mario Paint type thing, like a new Mario Paint.
Yeah, Mario Paint would be perfect with the touchscreen and stuff. Like, they could really, and I think that's kind of evolved into like the Art Academy stuff on 3DS.
Yeah, which is wonderful. They're really great games.
Yeah. I would, man. I'm trying to. What would I really like to see? I would, man. I don't really know, man, because like they've kind of revived a lot of stuff in the last.
Well, for me, definitely more Eternal Darkness need to come back. I think Nintendo needs a horror game.
Well, they own some sort of the Fatal Frame franchise now.
Yeah, they got 40% of it. They own 40% of it.
So, like, I mean, they could do something with that, like.
What was that Disaster Report game that was on Wii that never came out here? It was only in Japan, but it's like
it was like that Hammer game, right? Where like you use the Wii remote
that's Project Hammer. That got canceled. It was another one. It's like some kind of Disaster Report one with some guy. And it is fully like translated and everything, and they was gonna bring it to America, but they didn't. So, but it came out in Japan. But that's more of a port, I should say. But I would love to play that on Switch.
I don't know. I don't remember that at all. Sorry, I just don't remember.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing though like a Paperboy where you use the Joy-Cons like or something as the motion control.
Paperboy's more Accolade or Atari. So
yeah, I suppose.
Now, I could see you, Jesse, having a Nintendo Lab version of Rob the Robot.
Yeah.
I mean, I could totally see that, you know? So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wrecking Crew.
Yeah!
Oh, man.
Duck Hunt! Duck Hunt! How are we forgetting Duck Hunt? They need to bring that back.
Yeah.
Man.
And we can finally shoot that dog.
Shoot the dog. I mean, if we're in like even like smaller experiences, I would like to see Luigi's Mansion come back in a big way. I mean, I know we got the 3DS game, but I want like the single house, but it's like just a giant house that you have to collect booze in. I'm trying to think more like GameCube style stuff. I think like a Wario game, like not like WarioWare, but remember the GameCube Wario World game that they made?
Yeah.
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 I think that would be interesting to do something with that.
What about the Treasure Wario game where you had to shake it?
Oh man, yeah,
Like I said, they still need to make a Waluigi game. A Waluigi skateboarding game.
no.
Oh my goodness!
Like Tony Hawk, but only it's Mario.
Make it like Skate or
Or-
Die 720.
Or they could just literally take Crash Bandicoot and just put skins of Wario over Crash.
I wouldn't be surprised if someone did that now.
Man, I don't
Do
know.
his large walk that he does.
Spinning around. Ah.
Man. I would like to. Man, I don't even know anymore. I would like to see Rogue Squadron come back too. I think Rogue Squadron. I know EA has the license for Star Wars right now, and like EA's got a lot of bad blood. But like, if they could find a way to get, all the studios involved with that, and like pitch it to EA and said, hey, can we have like an HDified? It doesn't even have to be like remake. It could just be the games now with an HD upres to like 720p or 1080p.
That was level 5, right?
Factor 5.
Factor 5.
Yeah. And like really have that on there, or like a new Rogue Squadron game. Like I would love to see Rogue Squadron come back in some way. So
Pod racing.
no, we do not need another pod racing game. Our last question comes from Deshaun Malone. He says, my daughter and I play lots of games together, and I was wondering what your crew thought about Nintendo expanding into edutainment games again. Labo seems like a step in that direction, and we can't wait. Edutainment, that is a... Man, how would you even do that? I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of possibilities with kid-friendly IP, like, Mario Teaches Typing. I liked Mario Teaches Typing when I was younger, I'm not going to lie. But how would you guys... What?
Oh, I was going to say that was that Donkey Kong Math back in the day.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was a math game with Donkey Kong in it.
Ed, you just remember all the weird stuff. I don't even understand how you remember all this stuff.
I'm 37 years old. I was a Nintendo fanatic then. I was a Nintendo fanatic now. I played a ton of Nintendo games.
Okay, case in point. But how would you guys really do edutainment for Switch? Like, I think it's a good idea. I think it's a great way, similar to Labo. Like, Labo's a great way to move in that direction, right? But like, how would you do like maybe even just software-based edutainment stuff?
I mean, of course, we talked about our like Art Academy being one. This chord thing, like this music one. Like Nintendo Lab, I think it's the first step. If we want to talk about like edutainment games. I think another one would probably actually be it's probably going to be more for adults, and like knitting or something, or cooking, like how they had the cooking game for the 2DS and for the DS, where you go out shopping, get ingredients, and then come back and then they show you on how to cook and stuff. I think the edutainment games now that could come out could be for adults than for kids, because I think some adults sometimes need to relearn things, and kind of help them keep their memory up to date, I should say, and probably have some fun activities. I think like that cooking game and stuff could be that Nintendo had on their DS. I think they could bring that back and help.
Yeah.
And then I like, for me, the only thing I'll really add is I do think that we are eventually going to get some form of VR through it. So, I mean, like basically when the Switch came out, there was people that were running VR stuff on it already. Like, mind you, now that that was something that they made and did themselves, but it is capable. That still means that it is capable of doing it. So
Yeah.
I think we could see some stuff like that maybe eventually. That even just so much as like like you have where you can go and see different like sceneries and in the real world and be able to explore like nature stuff, like watch like a 360 video of like a nature video that you could sit and watch and have someone narrating, because I mean you can run that stuff on phones, so it doesn't make any sense why you wouldn't be able to run it on the Switch.
I think they had like that Google thing for Wii.
Yeah.
That's for the Wii U. Yeah.
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 So I think that's something that could be in the future. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're, I'm just sitting here thinking about like the VR stuff. Like I think Nintendo could do VR without, doing VR. I mean, they're already showing it in the Labo robot stuff, right? Where like they have the mask for the robot that you can slide the screen into, and based on your movements and everything, like you can see what you're doing and stuff. And like that's like the Google Cardboard stuff that came out real early for VR. Like that's the kind of stuff Nintendo can do VR with without actually doing VR. I think there's a lot of smart things you could do with that in terms of going places. Things that they kind of teased on the Wii U, like going to like and even on the 3DS they did this where like you can go to like the Louvre in France and like have that program on your 3DS and it would take pictures and tell you stuff about certain things. Like I think the Switch could do that too. So
novel-based games like where there's a lot of reading that you incorporate your amiibo into. So let's say you want to take Yoshi on an adventure, with reading. That can help kids read, and every time a Yoshi comes on or is the character, kids could read along with it. And if the Switch could pick up your voice reading you along, it shows Yoshi's doing different stuff while you're reading the book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool if they did incorporate basically a storybook with each amiibo. Like each amiibo would unlock a storybook that you could interact with and read along with and learn. That would be pretty cool. And like have different reading level, like each amiibo would have like certain reading levels, maybe like a certain one, because like they do that right now, like where you can get books that are leveled for what a kid can read and stuff. So like have something like that even.
Yeah, and I mean we got Just Dance also, so kids can learn how to dance and maybe an exercise. Yes. So.
Yeah. Well, that was one of our shortest shows ever, I think. So this is, I mean, we've done a ton of Nintendo content this week. So subscribe to Nerds Gone Rogue on YouTube. We're close to that 100 subscribers on YouTube. We've been gaining some subscribers lately, so I'm pretty happy. I think our external content's kind of helped with that, but we need to hit that 100 subscriber mark to get youtube.com/nerdsgonerogue or NGR radio or something. So if you're out there, subscribe so we can get that URL. That'd be really nice. So check out our other Nintendo content this week too. Like we did some reactions on last week's Direct. We did a reaction to the Labo thing yesterday, or a couple days ago at this point now. Check out our mini block episodes in the Pow Block playlist on there. We're not putting that on podcast services. We're really just trying to fill some days with Nintendo stuff because, we like to talk about it. So check out our family of shows, Arsenal X, which is our Xbox podcast. NerdsCon Platinum, NGR Radio, World 1-1, all that good stuff. Check out some of our Let's Plays that are going up. We've started some of the Hammer Bros Academy stuff where Matt and Moose are kind of making me play through the Dark Souls games. So, we're starting with Bloodborne. So,
yes,
we'll see what happens there. But, I think Ed and I, in a few minutes, are going to do some Let's Pod plays. So, yeah. So, Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at @ThatRetroCode, and you can check out my podcast, Optional Opinion, on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play. New episodes will be going live soon, so do check that out. Getting ready for my bunch of game awards. I think you guys will actually enjoy. Can't wait for that. Oh, and also check out Arsenal X, our NGR Xbox podcast, and World 1-1 podcast here on NerdScore Radio.
Yeah. Jesse, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at @sub_humanist.
Yeah. Nice and short. You can find me at CoreyandHD on Twitter and Instagram. You can find me on Nerds Gone Rogue every Monday. Remember to check out the expansion pack episodes on our YouTube page, which is our Monday at noon show, where we discuss a topic that one of you has sent in, and you remember to enter in that prize. So email us at nintendopowblock@gmail.com and to enter that, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, rate us on podcast services everywhere, download, follow us on Twitter, NGR Pow Block, follow us on Instagram at Nintendo Pow Block, and go to ngrradio.com for all of our things. I think that's it. My brain is tired. So
yes. And so don't forget, everybody, January 27th is the last day you can get your question in for the contest.
Right. Yeah.
And thank you to everyone who listens.
Yes.
Yes.
What Jesse said. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching. And until next week, we love you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Woo-hoo.
Man, next week. Man, I feel like we've done so much.